All right, so the first tool that we're going to look at for the planning a technology integrated curriculum unit is going to be Google Drive, right? And the tools that are available in Google Drive. So this unit one example I already have created. All right, this would be allowing students to create a Google Doc and give examples about different things. Like for instance, the fourth unit is supply and demand and market equilibrium from supply and demand. And students would be able to create examples of the content, right? They can go in, they can insert images, tables, drawings from Google Draw, charts if they have it from Google Sheets, right? And they're allowed to collaborate. If they would like to come up and share with people, they can, and they can use this, right? This supports the activity because it allows students to create their own content. This applies to constructionist principles because students are going to be constructing their own knowledge, right? They're going to come up with examples of what market equilibrium is itself, right? What's the equilibrium for goods such as cookies or tennis shoes or cars, or even gasoline and things like that. And then we have the differentiation because students have all those different means. They can add pictures, right? They can go through, they can add tables. If they don't want to create a Google Doc, they can go back and go to new and they can create a Google slide if that's more of their preference, right? They have the opportunity, the freedom to be more creative with this and create their own content. And that's the goal of the technology integrated curricular unit that I have going on in terms of constructionist ideas and principles in there. Tool that we're going to be looking at is AP Classroom. You see that here. I'm already have uploaded Unit 1, Basic Economic Concepts. Now, as we go down and we scroll down, you see that students have all the different options. Now, the one that I showed previously, market equilibrium, disequilibrium, changes in equilibrium, right? There are videos that students can click, and you see here it loads up, right? And these are daily videos. This is one way that students can review over the knowledge and the content. There are question banks. Now, this looks a little bit different from my point of view than it would for the students, but I can create quizzes, and quizzes would show up over here, right? And this gives them exposure to actual AP test type questions. Now, this is more about using technology to build content. This doesn't have a whole lot of constructionist principles, to be honest, in it, right? Students can go over topic questions as well. I can assign them the videos and the topic questions, but students can go through and answer the question. This is more kind of helping supplement the actual content itself. Now, in terms of differentiation, one of the things that I like is that for every single part of Unit 1 and all 6 units combined, if I could scroll up and look, right? If I go through here, course resources, all 6 units combined, every single unit, every single part of every single unit has these videos and they have these topic questions. So when we talk about differentiation, right, there are some students that are going to be much more, I want to answer questions after reviewing the content with the teacher, right? There are some students that might go, I want to watch this video and kind of just review and understand it like that. And that ultimately is one of the tools that I'm using in my Planning a Technology Integrated Curricular Unit. The final tool of the 3 that I'm using for the Technology Integrated Curricular Unit is Kahoot. Now, Kahoot's a little bit different. It's a little bit unique, right? And I have some pre-made Kahoots here that I've done for my classes. But students, what they would do in this part of the lesson is that they would create a Kahoot. And as it loads, they would go ahead and click Create. And now they can add questions, right? And then so they can, for instance, when is the market in surplus or equilibrium surplus, or however you want to phrase it, right? And they could answer when the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied, or they could do quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded, and so on and so forth. And then they can click the correct answers. In this case, a surplus occurs when the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded. And they can add questions, right? And they can insert pictures and content and things like that. And this allows students to create the content. So it falls into those constructionist principles again, where students are creating content that they can use to quiz their classmates. And the idea of how this would work in the classroom in the lesson is that the second day of the lesson, the first day they create the Kahoots. The second day, they sit in groups of 4 or 5, and hopefully these Kahoots don't take more than like 5 or 6 minutes to play, and they go through and they play each other's Kahoots, right? And it's a form of the practice. It's creating content. It's collaboration, and it's differentiation in the fact that students can create questions maybe that they are more so struggling with, or they can insert images and they can add their own looks to it, and that's kind of the idea. So those are the three tools that I'm using, right? So Google Drive, AP Classroom, and Kahoot.